Good morning, my powerful MBP family. Yes, my powerful MBP family. Every one of you has greatness in you. Every single one of you has greatness in you. Have greatness in you. All right, so this one I'm coming to you guys. It's today's Labor Day, so of course I'm home. In Jamaica, Labor Day means that you're out there working, painting up a building, cleaning up somebody's yard, planting trees, doing all that kind of good labor. For us, it's a vacation. I think it's the end of summer. And so today we have the sales, we have people shopping, we have people doing what they do. I am home. I have things here to do. I gave my prerequisite assessment, meaning that I'm looking to see how much the kids, how much foundation they have for the sixth grade curriculum. So I had to give them paper, a paper test. So just think of me, 72 tests, and I haven't started grading yet. So today that's going to be my labor. I'm going to be grading them just to see where they are and how to kind of group them so they get the best support that I can give to them. And we do have a special ed teacher this year who is really on board and excited to be with the group, with the team. And so I'm hoping to see great things done for the kids who deserve that that kind of support. So I'm here this morning, guys, reminding you I received a WhatsApp this morning from Terry Ann. Thank you, Terry. And she quoted and reminded me of Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. And it's all simply saying to us that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So that's my prayer for all of you, my powerful MBP family, that you will continue to believe that you can do all things through Christ, not through yourselves, not through your wealth, not through your friends, but through Christ who strengthens you. So let that be your thing for today. I was listening to talk by somebody. I said, look back at the poverty in Jamaica. And I need to take a moment to just thank all of you YouTubers who picked up your cameras and is showcasing what's going on and is getting valued support for those who are in need. I'm talking to you who are getting support for those who are in need, not for those who you do the rehearsal before you pick up the camera and then people do whatever and tell the stories in order to get support. I'm talking to those of you who are really and truly getting support for those who are in need. And again, I'm not talking to those of you who are getting support to build for yourselves, because there are many who are doing that you put one thing out there, but in the back end, what we are not seeing is the grandstanding that you're doing and the buildings that you're putting up for yourselves. So for those of you who are honestly, really, you have enough for yourselves and you are giving back, you're making sure that those who need a little support, that you're reaching out. And so, some people are they talk the talk like, oh, people in America, they have money, I give them, man, they want them have their money, I give it, so go get the money. It's not so. Let us be honest in what we do, and so that the blessings will be there instead of the curse that will follow later. We have to always remember that we are living in a space that is not operated by us. There is a supreme being. As a kid, we learned that speak the truth and speak it ever, cause it what it will. He who hides the wrong they do does it still. We know that There is a supreme being looking down who sees and knows everything, and we get our rewards accordingly. So we might look grand now, and we're building and we're showcasing, but in the end, what will it look like? It's easy to fall down from grace. Very easy, guys. So remember, do the right things. Do the right things. If you're asking for support for yourselves, ask for support for yourselves because you're not working, you don't have much. But don't use people who are poor to grab for yourselves and grab more for yourselves than the little bit that you give to those who are in need. So I'm just like saying this because I was listening to what the person was saying. And when you think of people in Jamaica with the people, where minimum wage in Jamaica, 9,000 Jamaican dollars for a 40-hour work week. 9,000, my God, what can $9,000 do? And those people are paying bus fare to get to work. Taxi drivers are not looking to say, okay, I'm going to subsidize your fare because you don't make much. Taxi drivers have to pay their bills, so whatever the fare is what they're expecting from you. So guys, sometimes we live and we are doing well, we're doing okay. We're throwing away food, we're doing all these things without thinking. Without thinking. That is not because people are lazy while they're struggling. It's because of the people above who keeps their foot on the necks of our people. So think of a family who has today children in Jamaica is out of school, and we want to lift them up in prayer and ask that God's blood will just cover them all, and the anger and the frustrations will be at a minimum or at a zero, so that people can coexist in a loving and decent way. Think of 9,000 Jamaican dollars, 54 US dollars, if that much. 54 US dollars. And I say we evaluate our monies where we are. We evaluate it where we are. But I cannot imagine anyone with children to go out to school today who had to buy their own books, their own everything. Jamaica doesn't have free education. Because when they throw in these fees and they call it what they want to call it, when the government is supposed to provide light and Wi-Fi services and that for the schools, but they throw in these things and have parents paying for light bill, paying for this, paying for that, when they can't even feed their children in a good way. So I applaud those of you who have been doing, there's a special person out there, won't call her name, but who she goes above and beyond to make sure kids get books to go back. The kids sponsoring a kid here, a kid there to go to university. And what I like how she does it is by just telling them, I'm paying for 1 year of you going to school, and then get a job on campus. Try to figure out how you can pay your way through. I'm putting you in the building. I'm putting you in a program. I'm giving you the start, because that's the hardest thing. When you're sitting waiting, I want to go to college, I want to go to college. But then you cannot save enough to get there. Your parents doesn't have it to help you get there. They don't have any resources that they can use as collateral to help you get there. And so you sit down and you have the good mind and you are smart, but there are no opportunities. So more of us just really need to sponsor a child. Get them into the university door. Get them in there. Buy a kid a laptop. Buy a kid something to get them somewhere. They finish high school, they're getting ready to go into the heart program. You know that they did well because, like Bev Brown, she showed her little nieces, her granddaughter's report card. I know that this child is filled with greatness. I sent her a laptop because she's going to need that to help her push through. She's not going to a university. She's choosing to go to Hart. Hart can prepare her for greatness. And as I said to her, Pumpkin, I'm giving this to you. I'm not rich, but I'm giving it. I'm sending it to you. Create great opportunities with it. Use it for greatness. So guys, if each one we sit and a lot of us, but I do this to people. I am amazed at myself, right? I'm just amazed at myself and people who don't talk about what you do. Yes, talk about what you do, because if God has not blessed you and you have not accepted God's blessings and appreciate God's blessings and remember those, I have to, when I'm able to give back, have to be thankful to God, because it's his blessings that allows me to give back. And let me tell you the truth, that when you give back from the little you have, I'm telling you that God opens up doors for you. Not just small windows, but he opens up doors for you. And I'm a living proof. When I write my books, because it's going to get done, people. And you're going to buy the book and you're going to read it. You're going to be like, really? She went through all of this. And instead of being bitter and sitting down moping on it and becoming a worthless tool in society, she got up and she built. And she trained her children to be loving and kind and be respectful of all things. Yesterday we were sitting here playing our Ludi. And by the way, guys, they laughed my little board to scorn. I had loaned the board out to one of my students. And I called my student and says, you can come and pick up the board. You can come and have it. I'm gifting it to you. I paid $70 to my board. And I thought it was so nice, because the board we have is a big board and it needs a little love. You know, the colors need to be touched up. And it has a few little, I think they nailed the rim, the border, they nailed it from the bottom up. So there's little sharp edges at some parts of the board. How do you believe that my kids dogged out my little new board, and we're sticking with the big old board, guys? We're keeping the old one. New broom sweep clean, but the old brooms, they know all the corners. My children, they were laughing me to scorn. I'm looking at them like, are you serious? But there were good moments, guys. There were great moments. And we played until 10 o'clock last night. And then they packed up their foods and they left. So I'm going to give a shout out to my husband, Donnie. And I said to you guys, you know, you have people in your lives. A lot of you, you're looking for husbands who are rich and husbands who are smart and tall, dark and handsome. And they bring absolutely nothing to the relationship. Ask God for a companion. When you get a companion, it doesn't matter if they're handsome, if they're tall, if they're rich. What you get is companionship. And the companionship might not mean talking, because Donnie doesn't talk a lot. But let me tell you, Donnie gets things done. He gets a lot done. I mean, he gets a lot done. And I'm thankful to God and ask God to just lift him up and cover him and just keep him. Is he perfect? No, he's not perfect. If he was perfect, I would be scared. He's not perfect. He's not perfect. But am I perfect? Hell no, I'm not perfect. But the one thing we have in common is that we acknowledge the true and living God, and we do accordingly. And so as he cooked and the kids come and they eat and we play our games and they eat again and we play, and Grayson and Gia, they all about, and poor Sheree had the job because she doesn't play the game. And so and when we all took turns in holding on to Grayson, was so active and has so much space to run, and they have such a great relationship with Donnie. It warms your heart when he walks in and he hugs me and, Grandma, where's Grandpa? And he's looking for Donnie, and if Donnie is in here and he leaves to go outside or to go to the store or something, go to the street, He's all over the house looking. Grandpa is hiding from me, Grandma. I said, no, call him. And he look around for, Grandpa, come. And all over the place, the bond is so beautiful. So people, I don't care if he buys me diamonds or pearls. I don't care. I'm just thankful to God that I have 3 beautiful children. And because of their respect and kindness to him, he is in form respectful and kind to them, all of them. Grace's birthday has never come and he doesn't give Grace at least a good change I can put in his bank book. My children's birthdays doesn't come and he doesn't acknowledge their birthday. And his birthday or Father's Day doesn't come where they ever not acknowledge him. What more can I ask for? There's peace in my house. There's love. There's support. There's, and I said there's no perfection. But when you live in a space where you're not hearing arguments and all of these things, then you have to be thankful. You have to be thankful. So as I look back at the situations in Jamaica, as I said yesterday when we were here playing, all of us, my small family was here. And what was that, 3 generations? Mommy, children, and grandchildren. 3 generations. And we got a phone call and I put it on speaker, and so 4 generations were in connection. Because my aunt called from Jamaica and she was able to hear each and every one of them. Each and every one. She heard every voice saying, how are you, Auntie? So you had an auntie for me, grand auntie for my children and Sheree, and great grandaunt from Grayson and little Gia. So when you hear me talk about family people, some of you, but that's what I cherish. I respect families. I like when people get along. I don't like the arguing and the put downs and the who did do this for who and me not do this again and me not, but them could have dead. Drunker could have damned them. Me not. No, stop that. Sometimes you're going to have those quiet moments. And for my quiet moments, and people who knows me, they know I can get quiet. But my quiet moments is my evaluation moment, is my moment to reflect, is my moment to say, is it necessary? And if I see that I will leave a lot of things alone, just leave it. I don't get into things that is going to create chaos. I don't like chaos. I don't want to beat my chest for anybody. No, I'm not beating my chest for anyone. I evaluate, I get quiet, and I evaluate. And sometimes I stay in that quiet mode and I leave it alone. Am I angry? No, I'm not angry. I am not angry. But my brother always said, he said, the silence is worse than if you argue, he would say. The silence is worst. But it's not worst. The silence for me prevents me from saying a word that I'm going to regret later. The silence for me, it means that I can reach out to you if you need me without feeling that there was some form of disrespect. So let us think, guys, because again, we say we have 2 ears that we listen. When people get frustrated, we listen. And we have 2 eyes to observe. And we have 1 mouth. Don't let unnecessary words flow out of it. Let sweet words flow out as often as you can. Is it going to be all the time? No. But let sweet words flow. So that later on, when things get back to what we call normal, then you don't have to feel embarrassed and feel like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. Because you're really not that type of person. But when you're angry, you just say what comes to your mouth. That shouldn't be. You control. The only thing you don't control is the blinking of your eyes, the beating of your heart. There are times when you even hold your breath. That means you can control your lungs. Your breathing, right? Because you can hold your breath for a moment. But the things you can control, even your bladder, you want to go, you want to poop and you can hold it. You squeeze it in, you squeeze it up. So you can control those things. You can control your hands getting up, forming a fist and punching somebody. You can control your hands taking something from somebody that was not yours. You can control those things. And you can control this mouth that we use sometimes to cut people down and to do the evil that we do. We say things about them that we know is not true, but we just want to get back at them. And so I say today, don't forget what I always said, speak sweet words. Because if it happens that you have to swallow them, doesn't mean you're going to eat the words. It means that there are times we do and say things and then around the corner, because as we said, life is just a circle, 360 degrees. And it just every day it goes around and around. And so at some point it's going to come right back to you. So if you had spoken sweet words when the wheel goes around, it's going to come back to you. So if they were sweet, you're going to enjoy them. If they were bitter, you're going to lose out. Many people are out there would want to do things for people, but the attitude, the way you treat people, the ungrateful behaviors that you display, the selfishness, the me, it's all about me. It limits your opportunities. Because people might do a good thing for you and you don't give back. You don't do anything. For me personally, I said I have the YouTube channel. I need subscribers in order for it to grow. If it grows and I make fun money from it, it's not to go in my pocket. I work. I use it to continue to do the things that God asks us to do, to give back to the poor, to help those who, because of society and the only the strong survive mantra for many, then they are suffering. They're hungry. So if you support me, some of you out there, no matter how much I do, you don't even pick up pick up your phone and take one finger and joke 2 words to say you appreciate the content. Or I wish I had, even when I do the little food videos, it feels good when people pick up and they say, boy, Miss Bev, that looks yummy. Blessings, Miss Bev. I could eat some of that right now, Miss Bev. Send me mine now, Miss Bev. But coming home from work and boy, Miss Bev, those little things encourages me. They put that thing under my wings and help me to soar. Because when you're commenting and I see that you appreciate, I don't know if you appreciate my work if you're not saying it. I don't know if you appreciate it. You do a video, you might get 30 people who watch the video. And I've done more for more than 30 people. But just to watch the video, just to encourage people to watch it, it's a hard thing to do. How is it so easy for, I don't know, the amount of bars I shipped to Jamaica since I've been in this country. And let me tell you something, people. 80% of those people, I don't even know them. I don't even know. And when I do these things, I don't just pick up, use things and pick up. All of you who have received blessings from me have known that it is quality stuff. It's good things that I would have used for myself. But yet to just watch the little video for 20, 30 minutes or less, it's a hard thing for you to do for Miss Bev. Isn't life something? Isn't life something? I post some videos and honestly, guys, let me tell you, sometimes I feel dejected. Sometimes I really feel like just stop doing the videos. Because when you look, you send it out and you see the few people who take the minute to just open it and listen. A lot of my videos are listening videos. And just to open it, continue your cooking, continue your relaxation, but just listen to the video and press the like button and said, take one finger and say, thank you for this, Miss Bev. This uplifts me, Miss Bev. Nothing. So just like children, people, we are human beings, but we're like children because we have the same heart beating. We have the same mind, and so we like that you're not giving me back what I gave to you. But your gift to me is watching the video and leave me a little comment on the video. Because when you do that, it allows the people in charge to see that people like the content, and therefore they can put it out there for others to see, and that will help the channel to grow. It also allows them to give me a little stipend at the end of the month. And you know that what I get from it, it's not coming into Miss Beth's pocket. It goes into my bank account. But believe me, I spend triple that every month. Triple or more. Give it back to others. I would say triple, I'd say like 10 times the $100. Because when there's a need, I'm just giving. I don't look for anything. But all I said, share a video or two. Watch them, share them out. The other day I started going to small channels, and I would say, I'd go there and say, here's supporting, guys, because each one helps one. Just subscribe and like your video. You'd think that I was doing that, and I was doing it because I was hoping that one hand truly washes the other one. That's my mindset, that you're always helping people because one hand washes the next. What you need to wash yours is not what I need. And what I need is simple. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. But it's hard for people to just... And I might have had like 5 people who came back to my channel and subscribed. And so you continue onward and upward. You just continue onward and hoping that eventually we all can climb upward. So as we think of people in Jamaica who are struggling, guys, let us remember that if you help one, each one helps one, then hopefully the kids are going out to school. If you're able to buy a book, if you have your children's books from last school year, to find somebody in the grade that your child just left and see if you even sell them the books at half price. Even if you give it to them for half price, it takes some stress off them. Because the way technology today, I'm telling you, soon, just like email took away mailing letters that you used to look forward to getting and cherishing. I have my letter from Granny from 1997 until now. Those were the days. Right now you get an email and then you're complaining, oh, that my thing is full, I have to start deleting things. And you delete, and then there's no memory of anything. Gone are the days when a picture frame was necessary to put a picture in and your family's on the wall. And you look at them and you say, whoa, look how skinny that one was. Was that me? I was so skinny then. Look at me now. Menopause, big breast, big belly, surgery, all of that added in. But you're happy, you keep going. And those pictures remind you of when you used to be. And you give thanks because you can see the evolution. You can see the changes. You can see, oh my God, that was me before I had children. And then I tell the kids, this little fat here is for you, Jody and Judy, who twins. Yeah. Gained a lot of weight, had the surgery to have them, and the weight. But you're thankful to God that even though you sit here now and people, some might look at you like, my God, you're big, sir. Oh my God. I am all right. I am happy because what helped to make me this big are a blessing to me today. Huge blessing. My kids came last night, they ate, they carried away food, they do what they do. And when they were finished, they didn't walk through my door and left me dishes to clean and left me food to pack away. They cleaned up every dish. Every dish was cleaned out. The sink was cleaned up. The kitchen floor was wiped clean. The stove was cleaned. And every food after they packed what they were taking home with them, which is the best part when you see that, as Judy said, we thank you for cooking. We are here to do the eating. And you thank God, they appreciate it. And you see everybody with their little package and they're gone. And they look in the fridge and the freezer and you see the little packages all in single servings. This morning I got up, I'm doing some breadfruit and I'm not frying it. I put it in the oven to warm up and get soft again. Because, it was a little turn, or we call it a little ripe, just a little bit. So it is just so, just good. And so I say to all of us, guys, be thankful and understand that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Thank you, Terry, for those words. And I liked how she put it, that she put the Philippians 4 verse 13. And it says, today, Beverly, and she wrote my whole name, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And so I leave that with you, my people, that you can understand that you can go out there and support those people who are in need. You can go out there and share what you have and know that it will bring joy to somebody's face. You can go out there and give back a book and a pencil and know that it will help somebody who is only making $9,000 for 40 hours of work. My God, $9,000 should be for 1 hour of work. For a week, nobody should be making under $20,000 or $30,000 to properly suffice them. The Prime Minister of Jamaica and his cabinet people raise their salaries. What are they doing? What do they do for the country? They're not out there in the highways and byways and in the rural areas, in the galoshes to see where people are and helping to lift and make standards of living different. Why are we still living in the like 1800s or 1900s when people were living with a dirt floor because they couldn't afford to put a decent thing on their thing? Why are we living so substandard in a world that is moving so fast and there's so much resources? Why are we living and why are people still living the way they're living? I know some of you are wasteful and you are show-offs and you're who you are and it's what it is. But I know that there are genuine people out there who are struggling every single day. They're making sure they're trying to figure out which meal to eat so they can survive. And I go back to it that, guys, those of you who have, I saw something on, is it TikTok or something, where they have people in Florida who are planting trees in buckets. I say it 1,000 times. I've been saying it when we were helping another channel with the building homes for those people in St. Elizabeth there. And one of the things I kept emphasizing is that you get the space, plant a fruit tree, plant fruit trees on your property. Those of you who are living in places where if you're living anywhere, in the city, in the towns, in the smaller towns, wherever. Those of you planting up pretty flowers are good, but you can't eat them. Get your buckets, man, and put something in it. You can put your callaloo, you can put your tomato. You put 2 plants of tomato in a bucket and see how much tomatoes it yield. You can do some things for yourselves. Because I'm telling you that as we get into these people are more materialistic and it's all about them. They don't want 1 pair of shoes anymore wear till they tear off. They want 10 pair and it's sitting till them dry rotten. And them rather have them just for show that them have it than to give you as a little support. Give you one of the monies and pay for that. People are selfish. But wherever you are, you can rise up and do a little for yourself. You know, some breadfruit and pear, you can eat it and your belly, you can fill your belly. You can roast breadfruit, put like a salt on it and eat it. Drink your water and you're okay. Some people looking for steak and you only have chicken back money. But whatever you have, be satisfied, and where people can help, then people will help. But plant up your little garden, man. Don't sit down there with pretty nails and your finger can't touch dirt, but you're there beg and look for that. Yeah, you have some people live in garrisons where you have no space. Everybody live by one another, like a zinc part of your little space. But get your pot them, man. Get you go to the where people are paying the construction place. Get the bucket them, wash them out. Plant something in them. And it will come. And if you plant tomato, you don't have to go out, they go buy tomato $120 a pound. You plant them and Jamaica hot, so things will keep replenishing. It's not like here where we have winters, so after a while you have everything burned down. The color and them we have to cut them and bag them because we don't have year on warmth to keep them going. So get up, man, and help yourself, man. Help yourselves, because you have to know over the years you beg and plea. You beg and plea. When Michael Manley was in power, yes, him give the land for a farm. Some of them never ever take the opportunity and they still say don't complain. But I remember my uncle, one of my oldest uncle, he had his land. What did we call it? Whatever land they call it down there. And him had him little piece and him going and him planted him pumpkin and him planted him stuff and he was a tailor. So he had a skill. But him get a piece of land and him went in the early morning a farm, and when the sun had him come home, come sew people clothes, get him. Lease land, whatever they used to call it, land lease project. But they were using up the land. But you all sit down, some of you have how much acres around you, some of you have, and you sit down still, and I have. So let us be resourceful, people. When you're asking for help, you do the best you can do. So when people reach out to you, that you're not sitting there with land space around you and you want people come, you have lumber by your land. Cut your lumber and fix your house. Everybody now have to live in a concrete house. Cut the lumber. You have people live in log cabins and log sticks them take and build nice homes. Because if the wood is straight enough when you put them together, they will join together. People build them log cabin and it's a fancy thing for people here in America. We're going up to the log cabin for the summer. We're going up to the log cabin. But yet you're in Jamaica with so much wood. Jamaica is a land of wood and water. That's what Jamaica is, land of wood and water. So you can cut your logs and make your nice log cabins and live in them peacefully and good. You can do your thing, make your posts and put your lot them on it and get your nice bed out of it. So be creative with what you have where you are. You go to you're looking at some people, place them have nothing to sleep and they must sleep. Why in Jamaica? Get your nice 2 big piece of wood stump, whatever, and lot it up. And all you need is a mattress to put on it. You don't need no bed head, bed foot, dive on bed and all them garbage. Go back to what you know. And see how better you can live without the stress of your pay courts money, of your pay you're not making enough to do anything. If you beg people 2 pieces, two logs, they'll give it to you. But let us go back, guys, and use our good senses and let us build. Let us build, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. We just have to have the mindset. Get away from these material things which are just vanity and vexation of the spirit. And go back to your roots and build. And build. We grew up in, you draw a banana trash, put in on the music, get flour coming out, and you beg the shopkeeper them for the flour bag them when them come. And you open them up and you wash them and you pull out the cord them out of them and you wash them clean and nice. You wash them, sort them and wash them till they become nice and soft. My grandmother sew with her hand, which taught me how to sew with my hand, to hem my dress tail. If me get a little tape or something, me can come home and sit down and sew it up. If something rip out that you have to patch it back, you patch it back. You put a nice little cloth up behind it, and you do your nice little sewing on it. But we had those things, and the peace in them, that's what they used to call it. The peace in them means that they join these flower bags together, open out and join them, and you get your nice big thing, bag or whatever you call it. And when you draw, you draw the banana leaf, the dry banana leaf, and you put it in them. In the early 60s when I was young, that's what we used to do. Until Granny was able one of my cousins, Granny had raised her, and she became a nurse, and she bought Granny mattresses for her beds, for the bed, right? And that's what we used to do. And Saturday you wash your hair, and you out there, and you're drawing off the dry trash from the banana leaves, and you're stuffing it into these things. And you stuff it nice, and when you lay down on that something, my good God. And you sleep on that until the banana something them dust out, them rub out the dust. And you take it and you shake it out in the something. And you go again and you draw fresh ones and you put in there. And then it make me worse. My intention, my grandmother sent me to school. She didn't tell me sit down and go look at what people have and come home and come cry, tell me, Granny, how come? Many kids in my time were sleeping on the floor. Many of them because the parents didn't have it. The father and mother might be sleeping on the little board bed, which was the best beds. We're laughing at it now. We're turning up our nose, but those were the best things, guys. We did all things through Christ who strengthened us. They did it and they raised us and they raised me, and I am not mentally incapacitated. I'm not sitting here feeling sorry for myself or poor me. No, I was raised with the backbone to get up and do. To get up and do. Granny always said to me, Bev, nobody don't owe you nothing. So when anybody do anything for you, my pitney, don't forget kindness. Those are the things that I was raised on. We had to get up before day light out. Day couldn't catch us in a bed. Sun couldn't come up and we lay down in bed. I had an uncle there who he used to come in and say, I'm just mad because him come and coffee was ready. But if Granny ever gone to market, and we lay down there in a bed and him come over the house, him always come eat breakfast with Granny. He never had breakfast at his house. Always come in the early morning and he had breakfast with Granny. And one morning him come and chew Granny and if I wake up, did I sleep with sweet sleep? The man come in and he said, door lock, no movement. Me just said, to this day, Mr. My uncle did vex. Because I'm come and I expect him breakfast then ready. And he come and at him fire no ketchup out of kitchen yet. And he give us a lick. Get up out of the bed. What list people lay down in a bed till sun hot? So those are the things that I was raised on, guys. So to be resilient, to have a backbone of work, love work. Don't sit down and wait for handouts, but love to work. And let me tell you something, guys. People who see your worth and see that you're willing to go out there. I raised my family, I went to school, and I worked. And I worked. Didn't have a father for my kids. I said they did have fathers, but they didn't. My kids, they didn't have people handing money out to say, oh, this is for to feed them or to. I worked. And I always tell you, when Danny came into our lives, my son was heading to college. My daughters had already finished college. Because my girls are 6 years older than Christopher. And they went to college in a young age. They went to college at 17. 17 years old when they entered college. And they went to college and third year, they said, Mommy, we're not going to sit up in this place. And they started taking classes during the summer. Instead of coming home, come sit down, go a mall, go walk up and down. They stayed and they finished credits. So they were out of there in less time than many others took. So when you hear me talk about my kids, I have to talk about them. I don't want to sit here and chat people business and No, I talk about my kids because I'm happy that they're my children. And I have to, each time I talk about them, guys, understand this. I'm just thanking God for them. I'm truly, truly thanking God for them, who they have become, who they are as people, how they treat people. I am thankful to God. So when I talk about them, just lift them up in prayer. Don't sit down there and say, Lord, she always just a chat out fair pitting them, sir. She think a fair pitting them one. You talk about your kids. I'm talking about my kids. Because it's a good thing, guys. When you put the good character in them, they will show it. When you teach them what your grandparents taught you or your parents taught you, you will get back what you sow. Right? You'll reap what you sow. Because when you talk to them about being good to people, you are one of the persons. And so I'm thankful. And as you go forward today, guys, again, I leave with you Philippians 4, verse 13. You, my powerful people, all of you, Ernestine, Jet, haven't seen you in a minute, but I know you're okay because God got you. And all of the rest of you, Mojo, Jojo, I haven't seen you in forever, you know. And Maurice Kingpin, you're out there. I know you're out there. But it's what it is, my people. It's what it is. And I'm just thankful, Valesian. Thank you for joining me and getting some things done. This week I'll have to wear my shirts and model them so people can see what they look like on a body, a big body. So I'll be doing that for the website. She did do the logo. I did share it with some of you, ask you what your opinion of it was. And so in my time, guys, when I was sitting wondering, what am I going to do when I retire? See how God, when you do good things, that God replenishes and in abundance, He brings people into your life. I say to people, sometimes you get your big windfall when you're young and you buy this and you buy a new car and you buy this and you do this and you do that and you buy people friendship and you do all of them something that, and then when you get to this age when you need that support, there's no one there. I am thankful that I struggled and worked hard to get to this point. And now I when I need people to be here for me, that there are people here for me. I am grateful to God for that. You plant the seeds along the way, and when it's time, they blossom and they bloom and they bring forth fruits, good fruits. And so today I thank God for all of you. My aunt Sybil, my Bev Brown, with getting the soup kitchen done. See, guys, blessing soup kitchen, right? Looks good, right? Looks good. We're getting it done. We're getting ready now to splat or flash the wall or whatever they call it. Get it rendered. We have a carpenter lined up to do the roof and to put the windows and the door in. And we're just giving God the glory. We started in the gully down there and we built up. And with all of you who donated, all of you prayed us up, all of you who reached out, even when, boy, I tell you, God is good. I'm telling you, people, God is good. And when you get a WhatsApp text message, you know who you are down in Jamaica. Your blessings, I'm telling you, one cannot use up all your blessings. Because I'm telling you, God has been good to you. And the way you have been using your blessing, God just keep adding to your blessings. So I'm just thankful to you guys who believe in me, who entrusted me with your monies. And knowing that we're getting it done. I'm not building up something for myself. Yes, Bev Brown is going to benefit because she's the one who is cooking. And the need was great, and you saw the foods that she was turning out. And I went there myself We all went there. My aunts, my daughter was with me, Joe. Again, but we were there. We went in the space that Bev Brown has. We saw where she was cooking for these 20 needy people. We saw some of the needy people. We saw the need. We saw it. So it's not like we're here saying, oh, people are doing well and we're giving. The people who we see, Vashti Bashment, Shelly Ann, that's her real name. We see her come for her porridge and her dinner. We see her sickness. We saw her when her mental illness took over. And we saw that our heroine, Bev Brown, got her to a place where she was able to get some support. And so we know that the need is great. And we know, I believe in the soup kitchen. I'm committed to it. And there are others of you, Ernestine, who has just been given and given. And my special person in Jamaica who doesn't even flinch at helping to make sure this thing gets done. We believe in it. Yes, we didn't expect it to be this long because I was naive to construction work and didn't know that all of that from the gully come up had to be built up to the level of her floor up there. Didn't know. So I just thought, get all the materials and what have you will be done. No, all your donations that you sent has been very necessary to get it to where it is, to pay for somebody to get it done. Bev Brown couldn't do it. I couldn't walk away and leave it when I saw how much it was costing to get done. It wasn't just getting the toilet bowl and the cement and the marl and the stone and that, but was to pay somebody to dig the foundation, to fix the foundation so the blocks could go up. And those people who did them little stuff, let me tell you something, man. 15,000. We're paying Dwayne 5,000 a day to do the work he does there. And so it adds up. And so for me, it was just, I didn't know. And I have to admit to that, I didn't know. And so it really, so right now we need finishing sand to do the rendering inside there now. We need a little bit more stone and a little bit more, some sand and stone. We just bought 10 more bags of cement. And so he's going to start doing the flashing. So we're just hoping, guys, we finish the belting on top and we're going to need some lot because we had bought some and my aunt met her in Montego Bay in the beginning, the first, and done and contributed the 70,000 to get the zinc and the Salitex and some lots and stuff like that. We didn't know that Dwayne used some of it to create the things to do the columns and the belting up there. So for me, in my head, I thought in the country like that, you cut some wood and you use that to hold the plies together. But I guess he cut the lats to do that, and so we have to replace that. Plus, we need some lats for the top. So we still need funds, guys. We still need some more funds to just get it to the finishing. With the window in Bev Brown's space right there, that window will be taken out and put in the concrete thing that is being built. So that's one window that we don't have to replace. I had Sister Dawkins, we haven't spoken about her in a while. She's busy doing stuff with her family. So we haven't spoken about her, but we cannot forget her because she has been a big part of the Blessing Soup Kitchen. Sister Dawkins donated a window and a door, and so we need to get that back done. Actually, I had told Bev Brown to use that funds to help. There was something that needed to be done. Something needed to be paid, I think, to transport something. So she had used that money to do it. So I will have to replace that money to get a good door and a window for the bathroom. So we're getting there, guys. I can't wait to see the completion. And Ernestine's granddaughter sent the blessings for the Blessing Soup Kitchen when it's done. I hope that I'll be able to be in Jamaica at some point. But even if I'm not there, guys, the whole idea for this is to have a comfortable place to continue cooking the meals. Miss Ruby in up the bar, she sent nice pots. She sent stuff to blend juices. She sent some nice good things that we need the space to put them so she can use them. So my idea, I don't know what you guys think, my idea is to build a concrete counter from where the stove will be put, and then a little space between the concrete from the stove to where the sink will sit, and then all of the rest of it should be concrete, a concrete counter that, you know, you can wipe it off. It's not wood that is going to rot, but you can wipe it down and you can store things under it. That's my idea. That it will be there, and even if water splash on it, it's not going to be rotting and falling apart, but it will be a constant thing there. So that's my idea. And we're just thankful to God that all of this has been made possible by your guys supporting, and a lot of love for that special lady in Jamaica who jumped on board and has been very, very supportive in words and in actions. So yes, today was long-winded. I'm talking for 1 hour, guys, but I'm hoping that you have been blessed by this message, that you will just lift each other up. Just lift each other up and go forth and be great. Go forth and be great, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Don't you ever forget that. You go forth and be great, because you're filled with greatness and goodness and love. Go forth and spread it.